Health. What comes to your mind? Sugarcane juice, burgers. Is it about a well-toned body, a six-pack, one-pack? Money answers all things, but the love for money is the problem. Us, Wema TV, cares about your holistic well-being. And that's why I, Simon K, invite you to join me every Tuesday at 8 p.m. as we delve deeper in matters finances and money on our show, The Financial Diet. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching us from. Very excited to come in front of you. It's always wonderful to just come and share a few things as we learn together. Last week we were talking about how it's important to start regardless of where you are at. Whatever it is that you do, start. And as I promised, we will be going forward sometimes, get some other people to come and share a few things, because I don't pride myself in having monopoly of truth or knowing everything. The people who know a bit better than myself, and also it's always good to have some different points of view, and also have different opinions, and it excites me that very soon we'll be presenting someone, I'll be hosting someone to share a few things on matters money. To start with, I thought of doing this show a little bit differently, and I went and got a few quotes that made me laugh, and money-related quotes, and I'll just air a few of them. One of them says that my wallet is like an onion. When I open the wallet, it makes me cry. I hope that's not you. Someone else said that they say that love is more important than money. But have you ever tried paying your bills with a hug? I don't know. just some important facts about money. And someone else says that this was quite hilarious. He said that I don't understand people who say I don't know how to thank you. Have they never heard of money? Yeah, and yeah, if someone says, I have no idea how I want to thank you, just tell them, have you never heard about money? Yeah, I think it's a good one. Zig Ziglar said that money isn't the most important thing in life, but it's reasonably close to oxygen in the gotta have it scale. And our friend, I love his movies. Will Smith said that too many people spend money that they don't have, and to buy things that they don't need, to impress people that they don't like, and a few other ones for people that I was telling last week to wake up and work. I also saw something that made me happy. I don't know whether it sounds a bit rude, but it's a bit blunt, and I liked it. It says that, do you want to make money from Facebook? It's easy. You just go to the settings and deactivate your account and go to work. Yeah. I felt that that's interesting and wonderful. Today we're going to talk a bit about something a bit different from what we talked about last week. When you start, there are many things that motivate you and challenge you to start. And today we'll talk about financial stress and things that stresses. We'll talk about what is financial stress. I know many of you might have heard about it. I just want to repeat about it and what causes this stress, and what are the effects of financial stress. And then we'll look at the remedies if time allows. So to start with, what comes to your mind when you hear someone was killed because they owe someone 50 shillings or $50, or you hear that a lady walked out of a guy because they couldn't agree on money, Or you hear someone committed suicide because they lost a job, and they couldn't get another job. They tried a few things, but things didn't work. And the last option that they had, in their opinion, they got depressed, tried to reach out to people, people couldn't help. And they had to kill themselves, they had to commit suicide. And we've also heard of people who've had to steal, not because they wanted to steal, but because they wanted to. The family needs money. I remember talking to one of the guy that shines my shoes, and he was telling me, Simon, let me ask you, if you were torn between coming. That's the time we had curfews and a bit of lockdown. If you're torn between coming to work and feeding your family, coming to work, you'll face corona, and when you're in your home, your wife and kids are looking up to you, and you can't provide to them. What as a man would you do? And he told me, honestly speaking, I would let me risk corona, because the stress of sitting there with your wife, with your kid is looking up to you, and you don't have anything to provide to them, is real. And we've also heard of people that are paid, whatever it is that they're going through, isn't enough. Whatever they're earning isn't enough for them. Okay, of course, I know everyone would want more money. The people that are in business, they want to make more money. The people that are paid a salary, they would want to be paid a higher salary. But you've seen people going on strike because they're demanding for better conditions of living, better condition of work, and there are stresses that come about because finances that are there are not able to meet their needs. I'm talking about all that, and at the end of the day, we are all at different levels in the hierarchy, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Some of us are on the self-actualization, and very good if you're there. And some of us are struggling with basic needs. And depending on where you are at, the levels of stress are going to be different. The levels of what you need are going to be different, and how you react to what you need, how your needs are different. If you are in the psychological stage, that those are the basic needs: food, water, clothing, shelter, and there's the safety. We know the five of them: safety, self-esteem, and then the self-actualization. The people that are self-actualized, they want to make more money. Some of them have stress of making sure that they some want to run for office, and there's money involved, especially in this country. You don't find people funding you, so you'll find that people look for money, and we've seen people embezzle government money and get into public theft to fund their politics. I remember discussing with one of the guys in America, and they were telling me, when I came to this country, it was funny that here you expect people to, the politician to give money to the people that are electing them. In America, it's the other way around. We contribute because we believe in philosophies. We believe in what the person stands for, not really about money. So you will find the people that are sending to office, they will be stealing money, not because they really want to steal money, but because there is demand and need for them. So depending on where you are at in the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the demands for money are different, and you will find that people want to secure their future. Others want to self-actualize. We all want to move higher. So you find a demands for money lead us into, sometimes, if they're not properly managed, to stresses that are finance related. And as I said, we're talking about financial stress. So what is stress, if you'd ask me? And the definition of stress is a feeling of emotional and physical tension. And this can be positive, stress can be positive, and stress can be negative. And we don't want to talk, I will not be talking about the positive side because that is easy. I'll talk about now financial stress that is negative. And what is financial stress? And this is a condition that results into financial and economic event that creates one anxiety and worry and a sense of scarcity accompanied with psychological stress response. So you are in need, and there's a desire for money, and where you are at, you find that this, like for example, where we are at, corona-related businesses have shut down, the economy has slowed down, and the cash flow, liquidity of money, people have lost jobs, and you find that you do not have a stable source of income, and it creates anxiety. As to we'll get to know what anxiety brings in. It creates worry about the future. You're faced with scarcity of resources and opportunities, and then this will ultimately get you worried and scared, and sometimes wondering, what does tomorrow hold for me? And at the end of the day, it's important to see how these things, when you get yourself to these positions of stress and financial stress, there are many. How do you know you're actually suffering financially, and you're stressed financially? The common effects of financial stress is one, anxiety, and number two, depression. Anxiety, what comes about? I'll not go. I'm not a trained doctor, but I've studied behavior. But in many instances, you'll find that anxiety gives you panic attacks, helps you or makes you have this racing and unwanted thoughts. You find yourself in the middle of the night, or sometimes you're profusely sweating, and sometimes even trembling when you think about how am I going to provide to my family? How am I going to meet my rent? Rent is due. If you're hosted, rent is due, and then the other one is depression. Having trouble sleeping at night. You find that people are overeating or undereating, and you have lack of interest in things that you used to be interested in, getting yourself to very risky behaviors. If you when you see someone that was okay, and then now they've started in engaging in very promiscuous events, maybe even drinking, and having very dark thoughts, depressed, and all this has been triggered and has been pushed by the fact that there is anxiety and there is depression. And it's important, we will talk about how we move now from these particular instances to something different. How does depression and anxiety affect your life? You'll find that your physical well-being, and as I said, this show is concerned about your wholeness, physical whole being, your financial whole being. That's what we are concerned about. So when you find yourself having depression and anxiety, what does this lead to? And like for example, if you're in excessive drinking, that will create damaging effects to your physical health, and will also affect your how you relate to people, how you function. You'll find, like for example, if you had a job and the job has some few people had to be laid off, so you have to put in a little bit of more time. you'll find that sometimes if you are stressed, and you've now started getting into drinking, you will find yourself not concentrating on your job because the demands of the job, as it were, have increased. So you'll find yourself getting not very productive, and you get warning letters, and then after that they will let you go because of that habit that has come about by anxiety. You don't know whether your job is certain. You don't know whether you will keep your job. You don't know whether you're going to be able to take your family for holiday. If you're taking your family, you always take your family for holiday. If your daughter or your son expects of you to buy them something and you had promised, you're not able to meet this. So that affects you, affects how you think, affects how you plan, affects how you, depression and anxiety affects how you plan, how you focus on the future, and you need help. So what are some of these? I've mentioned a number of them, but what are some of these key causes of financial stress? One, if you're in debt and debt is due. Someone said there was a study carried out somewhere, and was saying that financial stress comes above work stress, comes above work stress. So financial stress is key, and it's good to recognize it and appreciate it if you're in it, and if you're getting into it, so that you're able to come up with remedies that will get you out of this financial stress. One, you're in debt and you're not able to get out of your debt. And number two, your incomes are reducing. For example, some people have been given pay cuts. Some people have been laid off work, and maybe you had a side hustle and the business is not as high as it used to be. And then, as I said, your rents are due, and you need to meet those obligations. Or even if you don't have rent, maybe you have a house that you bought under mortgage, and you have to pay that. Your disposable income, the money that comes to you, when your gross pay is reduced by, say, 20%, the money that comes down to you has reduced as well, and you need to meet these mortgage payments, and it's a fixed amount. So your disposable income, the money that you get, has reduced. And then also some students have to pay help loans. Others have to pay school fees. Last month, people in the country had to take their kids back to school. And depending on where they school, maybe there's some increases that have come out of the new demands of the environment that we find ourselves in, and that costs money, and that reduces your financial disposable income. Now, other people will find themselves in financial stress because they want to change their lifestyle. They want to change how they live and how the people they interact with. And we've seen what we famously have in this country, slave queens that will push you into an extravagant life. They want you to move from one area to another area, and you find that your lifestyle, your incomes are not able to move as fast as your demands for life are, the area that you live in. So that will leave you into financial distress. And then also, you found yourself with emergencies. Some people have gotten to sicknesses that had not been planned for, and then this sickness has come in, and you had no plan for it. There is no fund for your emergency, for this particular emergency. Or maybe you've gone to hospital and there is cancer, and you told you have to meet this particular bill. This will lead you into some financial strain and some financial stress. And then also, you're hitting 50 and or 45 and 50, and you've not retired you've not, when you look at your retirement, which is coming soon, you realize that you've not saved as much and your retirement is coming sooner. So you find yourself getting into this, what we'll call anxiety about the future, and sometimes you'll find that you've gotten out of a job and there's nothing that you have in your, you had not saved. Maybe your company doesn't have a provident fund or a gratuity for staff, and you're stepping out into the unknowns and you don't know how the retirement phase will be. That will stress you. So these are some of the causes of financial stress. And when you get into some of these financial stresses, it's good to know how you need to rectify yourself. And I'll go quickly into how do you remedy this. One of the remedies is coming up with a budget. Come up with a budget, and you look at your disposable income, and I think I'll do a show on how to come up with a budget. Look at your disposable income and look at your expenses, and you're able to balance that up. I'll do a show on budgeting, and then save. If you're young and you've gotten into employment, or you've started a business, know there's going to be a time that you will need monies. So make sure you save. Number 3. When your sources of income changes, make sure that you change the sources, how you live. Make sure you change your lifestyle. And number 4, I think it's important to seek help. Seek help where you're struggling. Sit down with someone and draft a budget with. Talk about your struggles and your areas of weaknesses and areas that you're struggling with, and then they will plan with you, and you will see what works for you, what doesn't work. Maybe you have to shift one location to another location. And then number 5, I think you'll need to track how your progress is. And if you need to rearrange a few things, rearrange, realign, and refocus where you're going to, and you will be making progress. Do not, if you struggle, don't falter. But if you're making progress, celebrate your small wins. Celebrate your small wins. I think with that I'll end up there today, and I'll talk more about some few other things that you can do or that will help you if you're in financial stress, say in a marriage, if you're in a financial stress in a business, if you're in a financial stress, say in a family, maybe, as I said, you've gotten into an emergency and your fund has run out, or you had not anticipated this. Someone has died and they were the sole breadwinners of the family. How do you progress and move on from there? You've lost, you were in school and you've lost your sole breadwinner, or businesses has been affected and significantly, or maybe your sources of incomes have been affected. How do you move from there? We'll be talking about that. So it's always exciting to come before you. I hope you're learning, and we are appreciating the feedbacks we're getting, the likes we're getting. We always glad when you watch to listen to what you're talking about. So I'll leave it there for today. And as I said, my name is Simon, and I'm happy to be in front of you, happy to learn with you, happy to plan and grow with you as you grow. So God bless you and enjoy your wonderful week. Thank you.
Wema TV, the voice of hope.